Hey you guys, what's going on? So this week I have the 2017 Lexus LX570, and for this drive video, we are somewhere that most people will probably not take the Lexus. So I actually found this spot that's got a bunch of this gravel road here. And yeah, we're gonna do this. So few facts about the LX570. I'm sure you guys have already seen my review, which is probably why you're here, because you want to see how it drives. Now, this is based off of the Land Cruiser platform. Obviously, the biggest difference is hydraulic suspension, which does help this car a lot. So right now I have it in its tallest setting. I'm gonna mess with this a little bit, so I'm gonna put it into neutral. We're gonna go into 4 low. Let's see here. I'm going to switch the terrain setting into loose rock, because that's what we have all up here. And put her in drive. Let's see how she do. Now I did check all the ground clearance, just in case you guys were wondering, so I'm not gonna scratch the car or anything like that. But it's doing a very good job so far. I mean, this is a pretty steep incline, as you guys can see. I'm literally just looking at sky right now. And it's comfortable. I'm taking it nice and slow right now. Let's see here. Looks like we got a pretty good sized hill thingy to my right. Ugh. There we go. And got a little bit of resistance. Alrighty. I'm gonna go through these rocks over here. And yeah, so far it's doing a pretty good job. I mean, obviously most people that own this car will never take it to places like this, but it's just cool that you can, you know? Sorry, you guys are probably just looking at nothing but ceiling. But, I mean, this is a pretty cool vehicle. Like, no joke. And it does a very good job on these roads. And it's crazy because we're just on standard street tires. I mean, if this thing had some good chunky tires, and you'd be good to go. Now I'm out in a little bit more clear openness. And you know, once you're ready to go back on the road, all you gotta do, put her in neutral, put it back into high 4, back into drive, and there we go. She's ready to go. Throttle response kicks up a lot more, and it just feels great. You know, I'm going over this crazy bumpy road, and you know, in any other car this would be a beating, but in here it's just great. Ugh. And now we're back on the road. Now I'm gonna go left. Alrighty. Now this does have the 5.7 liter V8, makes about 383 horsepower, about 410, 415 torque, somewhere in that neighborhood. My specs are probably off just a bit, but you know, you don't really, that's not a lot of power for this car, but you don't really need a lot of power for this car. I mean, I've had this car for a week, and the entire time I've had it, I've had literally no need to want to drive this car fast. I mean, there's no point. This thing weighs almost 6,500 pounds. I mean, you're basically in almost a 7,000 pound car. I mean, even if you had 400, 500 horsepower, this thing is not gonna feel fast at all. But it has just enough power to get you moving, and then after that, because of the immense weight of this car, you're really just, you know, using all the momentum after that. So I mean, there's a few times where I've caught myself just taking my foot completely off the throttle because I have enough momentum going where I can just go up a hill or go down a hill. I mean, this thing carries so much weight, and you put more gas into it just to get it moving than you do once you're on the highway. Once you're on the highway, you give it a little bit of gas and then that momentum really takes over. But it's smooth, it's comfortable. I mean, this is Lexus's most expensive car, so you know, I really wouldn't expect anything less. You do have different drive modes, so right now I have it in this kind of eco setting because gas is absolutely terrible on this car. You know, I think I've been averaging like 13 miles per gallon. And yeah, I have had to throw gas in it once, and it does only take premium, so it probably costs about 80 bucks to fill this bad boy up. It's about a 24-gallon tank. But like I was saying, guys, comfort mode, eco mode, you have a sport, and then a sport plus. You know, I have used the sport and sport plus. This does have paddle shifters, but trust me when I say you will never use those two driving modes ever. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't fit the personality of this car. And yeah, it enhances throttle response, but honestly, going from eco, which eco, I mean, this thing's like a dog. You really have to just give it a lot of gas in eco mode to get it moving. But switching from eco to comfort, the throttle response is such a drastic change that you really don't need anything past comfort mode. The only thing I don't like about comfort mode is it's a little bit too roly-poly. I mean, it's a big car, it's got a lot of lean anyways, but it's just the suspension is so soft and you're just bouncing around a lot. And yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about it. Other than that, on the highway, it's fantastic. There's not a lot of wind noise coming in here, barely any wind noise if I'm being honest. The sound system in here is incredible. I think my biggest complaint with this car is this whole center system right here. I mean, trying to work this and drive at the same time is the worst. And I'm not even going to attempt to work this while driving and filming this video because that's literally asking to get into a wreck. But I mean, it's a very comfortable car. It's definitely very luxurious in here. I mean, just to feel the steering wheel, the wood, this leather, it's a really good feel. And I actually like the wood on here, not because of the look, but because that, I guess the coating on it, it gives you this really nice grip. So when you're turning the steering wheel, once your hand hits the wood, you just have just a lot of grip, even more so than on the leather portion of the steering wheel. So I do like that. I didn't think I would like it, but it's actually really grown on me. But yeah, I mean, this definitely isn't the most fuel efficient vehicle. This is basically just Lexus's most comfortable offering, excuse me. And you've got massive windows everywhere, so visibility is not an issue at all. And it's just a great car to just drive around and cruise around. And you know, it's funny because I'm like 24 years old, and so driving this thing for a week, I felt like I made $500,000 and actually owned this thing for a while. But the reactions I get from this car are just crazy. I mean, people who have families, this is like their dream car. This is like their ultimate goal car. And you know, I've taken a few of my friends in here and they've just absolutely loved it. I mean, it's just so comfortable, and literally it makes you feel like you are just on top of the world, both literally and in a metaphorical sense as well. And when I say literally, I mean this thing rides so high. Like, one of my buddies has a lifted Dodge truck, and this is probably like an inch, maybe an inch and a half height-wise from his truck. I mean, that's how tall this thing is. I mean, you can get this, and on top of that, you can also raise the suspension in here. But if you do raise it to the higher setting, it will lower when you're driving above like 15 miles an hour. Same thing if you do lower it to its lowest setting, it will raise a little bit, and it'll keep that middle ground whenever you're driving. So it won't stay at the really high setting, it won't stay at the really low setting. So it keeps a good balance at all times. I don't know if that's for aerodynamic purposes or what the reason for that is, but that's what it does. So for now, I'll just kind of be quiet, let you guys enjoy the car. cycle through some different modes. All right. Well, guys, I mean, that's pretty much it for the video. I mean, like I said, this car is an incredibly well-suited car for everyday driving. It's fantastic. It's the most comfortable vehicle I think I've ever driven. And for anyone out there who is considering this car, I mean, if the luxurious touches in here and the fact that you can take this thing almost anywhere isn't appealing to you, I mean, this is a Lexus, so the reliability on here is going to be far beyond any of the German competitors, anything like that. So to me, that $100,000 price tag is almost worth every single penny. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to subscribe to my channel, please click up here to the left. And guys, if y'all want to see some of my other videos, be sure to click up here to the right. I get new press cars every single week, so I'm always uploading great content. So be sure you guys stay tuned. Thank y'all so much for watching.